Hey guys, and welcome to our review of Glass, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring James McAvoy, Bruce Willis,
Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson
There it
as
is.
the title character, if you will. We got Anya Taylor-Joy as well, not Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Sarah Paulson as well.
It's going to be confusing.
Yeah, sorry for that. My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Tim McGavick.
Boom. 19 years in the making, this one.
The 19-year challenge. Also joining us is Tyler Svitolsky
Hey, guys.
and Phil Clark.
What's going on?
Woo.
Glad y'all could make it.
Yeah.
Tim, can you give us a little synopsis of Glass for the viewers?
Oh, yeah. 3 weeks after escaping from the events of Split, Kevin Wendell Crumb is tracked down by David Dunn. After a brief encounter, they are both reprimanded into the custody of Dr. Ellie Staple, a doctor who specializes in those who believe they are superheroes.
Yes, indeed. Or is that really what's happening? Phil, let's start with you.
Oh, damn.
Actually, you know, before we get into it, what do you? Let's just run down. So, Unbreakable, then Split.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on those first two coming into this?
I love Unbreakable. Heavy
Okay.
4. I thought
Whoa.
Split was solid, like a 3, heavy 3.
Okay.
Mostly because James McAvoy's performance in that was crazy good.
Right. Ty, what are your?
Unbreakable, I didn't see until shortly before Split, I think. Just before. Because at the end there was a Bruce...
Or did you see it after Split?
No, I saw it. Oh, maybe I did.
Because of the
Were you
Bruce,
very
and you're like,
confused?
who's
Yeah,
that?
that's right. I did. Okay, yeah,
Who's
so I
that
saw,
guy in the
I
bar?
saw
Yes, we
Split.
explain it to you.
Yeah, I remember that. So I saw Split, and there was a Bruce Willis cameo at the
You
end. I'm
get
like, that's weird. and I think it wasn't until I actually came on the podcast and you guys actually said, you guys you know what this is for, right, Ty? I'm like, no.
No, I have no idea.
No idea.
What? It's Unbreakable.
And so I hadn't seen Unbreakable, so I went and watched that. Unbreakable, I really liked. Split, I thought was great, just because, again, James McAvoy was fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed both of them.
Phil, have you seen any of them before?
I've seen neither of them.
What?
Every
So you
time
went into...
I went into this one.
Have you seen
totally
Glass?
fresh. I have seen Glass.
Okay.
Wow, I'm
Um,
curious to get your perspective
Yeah,
now.
that's very odd.
Every time somebody mentions Unbreakable, I'm always like, oh yeah, I haven't seen that M. Night Shyamalan. They're always like, it's really good. So I'm like, okay, I want to
It
watch
is
that.
very good.
And then 2017, 2016, Split.
2016 Split.
2016, everyone's like, it was awesome. And then like it ties into Unbreakable. And I'm like, I haven't seen either of those. Like, well, I have to check that out. And I just never got
Well,
to
yeah,
it.
let's start with you then. Coming into it pretty fresh,
So-
what are your thoughts on Glass? Did it make any sense?
I watched a little YouTube video, like
Okay.
I
Okay.
before the movie. I was like, "What to know before you watch Glass?" And I got like a rundown of like the major plot.
I'm curious
points.
what they said in that video.
They talked about
There's a
Kevin
train.
Wendell Crumb.
Yeah.
Right, how his
and
personalities.
He
It's very
like the
crazy.
Horde and the Light, and they also talked about Bruce Willis, how his powers like started.
Yeah.
They talked a bit about Elijah and how what he's about, a little bit about the world itself, the crashes that you guys talked about. So I was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
Okay,
that seems.
yeah.
I was like, all right, this seems cool. I wonder how they'll like meld these together, because there was that like ending scene where like Bruce Willis was there, or his cape or
Yeah.
poncho was there.
He's there.
So I was interested to see how they would meld it together. I thought it was a little bit clunky at times, maybe not as well paced as I would have liked.
Mm.
Technically, I didn't like the score. I felt like it was trying to make me feel an emotion as opposed to like
Portraying
eliciting that emotion out of me. It was like, this is a sad moment. Let's play sad music, not like, oh my god, it's sad. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the performances were good to great. James McAvoy was stellar. I want to watch Split just based off his performance on this, not like let alone the story.
Fantastic in Split.
It seems like he did a really great job. Like there was like single takes from like he just changes entirely his body language.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's all like
I love when you
stellar.
get to tell which character he is,
Yeah.
just on the body language.
Yeah,
There's a couple times
Like,
you
shit, it's Dennis.
and whenever like Victoria came, or not Victoria, what was her name?
Patricia.
Patricia. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whenever like
You can
Patricia,
always tell.
you can always
He is,
yeah.
tell.
like,
Very like rigid.
stiff, proper.
Yeah.
Like
very cool.
I thought there were some really cool, like
his
parts of his performance that
performance in Split, I would
Yeah.
say, is better than in this, just because it's more focused on him, not to spoil like what
He's
what
the
I
main
thought.
character.
Yeah, so it's a lot more focused on
it'd be
him.
more centered on
Yeah,
him. I thought the supporting cast of characters was okay. Nobody really stood out to me. I enjoyed the story, but I just felt like it took a little while to get there. Like I felt like I was with them, I got it, and then just kind of like stumbled in that like middle part of the movie. I felt it was like meandering a bit, where I kind of wanted something a little more focused. But
Overall, you sound like you
it
thought
was-
it was fine.
it was okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it was great. I don't think it was bad. I thought it was okay.
All right.
That's
Well, this is the kind of movie that we can kind of delve into a bit deeper
Yeah,
when we get into the
There's a lot
spoiler
to say.
section.
there's
I
definitely
mean, it's an M Night Shyamalan movie, so
it's gonna
we'll,
have
we'll
that
get into all that stuff.
sticky quality.
Tyler, let's head over to you. What do you think about this film called Glass?
this film,
Yes.
I thought it was okay. There were things that
You're
I
taking a stand.
Yeah, there were things that I didn't love about it. I think the pacing was definitely off. I think, Phil, like you said, I kind of expected more to happen in this film. It seemed like there was always something going on, but nothing really happened, kind of thing. Especially like when they get incarcerated, I think is a proper word to use. They like there's a lot that happens there, but again, like nothing actually happens. I thought the performances were really good. They didn't focus too much on really anyone. I feel like Samuel L. Jackson's character was really didn't have a whole lot going on until towards the end, which I thought was kind of a waste. I did like Bruce Willis's character. I thought that he had a lot more going on, which was fun to watch. James McAvoy was still incredible. Yeah, I didn't love it though. Especially like towards the end, I felt like it was lacking towards the end. I also didn't like the way it was actually ended. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of deep in thought while you were talking there, just kind of thinking.
Oh, I thought you just weren't paying attention to me.
No, I was listening
Just white
intently.
noise, just
Yeah.
But
That's racist.
where am I? No. Yeah, there's just something about this film
Yeah.
that it's like the focus is all wrong.
Yeah.
Like what the film is about is like not what
Not-
it should be about.
Not clear, actually, I would say.
Like there's a bunch of side characters, and you're like, their stories are much more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like the three, like kind of like secondary characters that are kind of tied to each
Yeah.
one of those main characters. I'm like, their story could probably be a lot more interesting
Mhm.
than what I'm seeing right now, because this is like, there's no arc really for those characters, for the most part. The three main characters, and also, you mentioned Samuel L. Jackson there.
Mhm.
It's called Glass. I don't understand. Like,
Waste of
why
a
is the movie
character.
called Glass?
Yeah.
It's
Well-
not about him.
Well, I thought about that. Unbreakable, Split, Glass. It's all three of the characters.
I get that, but it's not focused on
I
Glass.
only figured that out yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get into spoilers. Like, obviously the guy has a master plan. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
But is that why you're gonna call the movie Glass? I don't know.
Should we call it Shattered or something? Go with the Unbreakable Split Shattered. Like,
Oh, I like that.
Something.
Tim, what are you doing here?
hey, I'm back.
He is back.
Tim's ideas are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was weird. Yeah. Overall, I disliked this film quite a bit.
I was
bored.
Yeah,
I was actually
I was
falling
in the
asleep.
theater. I'm like, what's happening? Like,
Yeah.
why am I so bored right now?
Yeah.
I felt that at the end. Like I was like, I get it. Like this is the culmination of the events of the film, but I was just sitting there like, okay.
Well, here's the thing, right?
And like,
It's supposed to be the culmination of these films.
yeah,
And yet it was just like, yeah, like total. I
Fell
wrote down
flat.
wet noodle. Like it was just
Yeah.
like I wrote. There's an S. I don't know why there's an
Wet
S.
noodles. Yeah.
Scott, this is a shopping
Sweat-
list.
But the end was a series of wet noodles,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, so there's the twist you expect, and then there's the twist you don't expect,
Mm-hmm.
and which is all fine and good, but they all fell. I'm like, really? That's it? Really?
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that it? Like, this is the culmination. This is it? That's the best you got? I don't know. I wasn't. I didn't love it. I did not love it.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it could also be the theater experience that I had. There was lovely. I'm sure they're a lovely couple.
Paint us a mental picture, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm sure
In
they're
the
lovely
back
couple.
row, one row behind me. I'm in the second to last row,
Mm.
and the wife, God bless her.
Mm.
She doesn't have a quiet voice,
Oof, no good.
speaking voice. Like a whisper.
Yeah.
One might call it whisper.
Yeah.
She has a normal, normal talking voice, and got a lot of. Is that the daughter? Is that her his daughter? And just just asking her husband questions the whole time, and I literally had to say, "Do you mind?"
No.
Yes. And there's like a dude beside me the whole time. He's like, "No, oh." Like just every time she talked, he was just like visibly, like physically,
Cringing.
Unwell.
like angry. And it got to a certain point. I'm just like, I've had enough. Like, do you mind? I'm trying to watch the movie.
They're in front of you?
Behind me.
Behind you, okay.
Yeah. I don't usually do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that affected my movie experience. Okay, but yeah. I mean, we can delve into spoilers.
I'll say we can delve into that story more, Scott, if you want.
Yeah. As far as my I have some more specific complaints. My one positive, I do like James McAvoy.
Mm.
I mean, how can you not enjoy that performance?
Yeah.
Everyone else, though, I will say, fine/mediocre, but it's probably the writing, in my opinion. Some of the.
Did M. Night write this?
Always, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
he always
mentioned
does,
this in
right?
our Aquaman review, where I was like, I don't think the acting was that good, and you said, like, it's not that the acting wasn't good; they just didn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
And I thought about that during this movie. I was like, it's
Yeah,
not that
they're
they're
similar.
doing a bad job; it's just there's nothing.
They're all
there.
good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all good. I don't think Bruce Willis had a lot to do, to
No,
be
he
honest,
didn't.
either.
No.
Like, what was his story?
He was in the beginning. He was in
Non-existent.
the end.
He was just like I don't know.
He was thrown into
just
it.
a physical presence.
Yeah.
He had no like character arc at all. Like nothing. Wet noodle again. That's another wet noodle. That's why there's plural there.
What-
And I would be remiss if I did not mention M. Night's cameo.
Oh my god!
I missed it.
Reprises his
You did
role.
not miss it.
I missed it.
You went to the bathroom or something?
No, I just wasn't paying attention.
Before we get into his
Oh fuck.
actual cameo, he does mention that he used to hang out behind the theater that Bruce Willis used to work at with some
Yes.
kids. Is that his cameo in Unbreakable? Because I haven't actually seen
Yes,
Unbreakable.
he's Unbreakable, and he's like
I
one of.
said that to my buddies. I'm like, I guarantee you, if I watch Unbreakable, he's gonna be in the back.
Yeah. I just. I literally I burst out laughing.
Let's hear
I'm
it.
not gonna lie.
Where was he?
It was the dude. It was the dude at the home. What's it called? The security shop.
Okay.
Talking to the
Oh,
son.
getting the cameras and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like this long scene, this super long scene of him just talking.
Man, just let your dad go for a walk.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why are you acting in this, man? Why are you in this scene? Why did you write yourself into this long scene that has literally no effect on the film whatsoever?
All right, where can I stick myself now?
It's just, oh my god, I was just like, I was cringing so
Oh,
hard.
it was bad.
Anyways, Tim,
Man.
I want to know what you think about Glass.
I loved the beginning of this movie. I was like, oh yes, David Dunn's out doing stuff. He's like your friendly neighborhood superhero,
yeah.
and then it comes to a halting stop for about an hour and a half.
When they get incarcerated.
And they get incarcerated, and then I'm like, okay, they're escaping.
Are they?
I'm like, this is gonna get
You
interesting,
respect-
and
you
then it
gotta
just like
respect that.
goes straight into the ground again. I'm like, there's some just
Now,
storytelling
was
wise.
it the expectation? Because they set up something that is
I
never
would have hated if they did that.
achieved.
That
Really.
that tower thing. I'm like, this is a weird place to take the movie, and then it goes a different direction. I'm like, this is even worse.
This is worse.
Did you guys see that coming? That, I mean,
the ending. No.
I didn't see that they weren't going to do that, but there's maybe we'll touch on this more
Yeah.
in spoilers.
Yeah.
But when I first saw it, there was a
some-
news thing
Yeah.
That's
about
like the
about the
first-
tower, and I'm like,
I think we're-
shut the fuck up. You're trying to plant the seed. It's too obvious.
It was very early that they put that in.
Yeah.
It's like,
Another
one
one,
of the first
Osaka
things.
Tower.
Yeah.
What is
Ooh,
that?
something bad's gonna happen there.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's just bad storytelling decisions made in this, especially in the final act. Like, why he decided to do the things that he did makes no sense.
Elijah? Who? Like,
Very-
M. Night
M. Night
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Okay.
This is at his feet.
Okay.
Yeah, just bad story decisions. Like maybe like because I loved the first two movies, I'm pissed of how this one ended. But yeah, and then the whole thing is like he's always talking about how these are super grounded superhero movies, and then there's a twist that is outrageously dumb, which we'll get into. I'm like, that's one of the least grounded things I've seen in a superhero movie ever, and that's a major part of this movie now, or this world. I'm like, this is just dumb. First 30 minutes I loved. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I love
Yeah.
this, and then it just gets bad. There's no character arcs.
I feel like this
David Dunn's
last
literally
one,
the same from beginning to end. Glass is the same. Splits, he has both personalities, so he's at least enjoyable to watch. Everyone
Yeah.
else is just fine.
I almost feels like this movie was shoehorned in, like because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we can make this a trilogy.
I think the problem with those character arcs is that it's with those secondary characters, right? That's where you could have developed it more,
Yeah.
right? Like with Anya Taylor-Joy's character, if you guys remember, like she was abused and all
He
this
was
stuff.
in this.
No, he was not.
Anya.
Not Aaron Taylor Johnson. Anya Taylor.
Oh, you have trouble with names.
It's a professional
Anyways.
podcast.
You know, like there's more to her story. Her and Kevin Wendell Crumb's story.
Yeah.
Like there could be more there, right? And same with the son, who, funny enough, reprised his role from Unbreakable.
Yep.
The kid from Gladiator.
Yep.
You know,
Oh yeah, he's from that year.
I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see if he reprises his role in Gladiator too.
Ooh.
When that happens. Like there could be more to that story. You know how he's kind of like this. Like he really looks up to his dad and everything, but it's kind of like he wants his dad to be a superhero. I don't know. There could be more there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, but it's just left completely
Yeah.
to the side for this boring,
I think
non-arcing
confining them,
storyline.
I think confining them to the psychiatric ward was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Let them be out in the world and
What if they had done
Interacting,
what?
yeah.
What if they had
That's
like
true.
if the three main characters had become the secondary characters? They were just kind of in the background, but it was. What if it was like the secondary characters became the primary characters about their story arc, what they're dealing with, how they can get, you know, their people out of the asylum, like all these things, like they could be the primary characters.
yeah, something like that, or just do like a cat and mouse, where like focus longer, like stretch out the 30 minutes of like David Dunn and his son looking for Kevin
Yeah.
Wendell Crumb, have him go on like a spree, have Glass looking for him
Yeah.
from like
And then they get framed at the same time.
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
like all three of them.
yeah something
Well,
Something
I
different.
guess Glass was already incarcerated.
something different. could have been
Anyways,
done.
yeah, something could be better.
Yeah.
I do have a couple other things I want to bring up. One was, what kind of security system does this place have? It's a joke,
Awful.
especially considering the one of the twists makes it even worse, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
No, but we'll delve into that.
It has to do with Sarah Paulson's character and her
Okay.
whole thing. Anyways, how is the security so lax?
Yeah.
If that's what you're gonna call it, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard to say without spoiling. And also, really tangentially, Samuel L. Jackson's mother, or wife, they're like the same age.
Yeah, that really.
She
I
in real
hated
life,
that.
in real life, she's 5 years younger than Samuel Jackson.
I was like,
She should
What?
be like
How?
89 or something, right?
yeah.
Like I saw the two.
She'd
of
have to
them-
be like 110.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw the two of them at the end, and like just like the two of them just looking at each other side by side, and I was like, they're the fucking same age.
Yeah.
That's sorry. That just threw me off. I didn't have to bring that up. Let's give our ratings, and we can get to some spoiler talk. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go 1 out of 5 for McAvoy's performance.
I liked it a little bit more. I'm gonna give it a 2, maybe a light 2.
Sure, you loved it.
Loved it.
Ty?
I'm sitting on a 2 right now.
Mm.
Heavy one. Heavy one.
Heavy one.
Heavy
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was bad. Well, there were some bad parts to it. I just wish there was more. Like
Yeah.
I wish they took it in a slightly different direction.
But they didn't, so it's a one.
I really think they shot themselves in the
That's-
foot when they
that's a good
decided
point.
to make this, like when they did Split, and they decided to bring in Bruce Willis's character, and like once they did that, since it had been so long since we'd seen Unbreakable, they really shot themselves in the foot because expectations went huge from
Yeah.
there.
Because this is more a split sequel than an Unbreakable sequel.
Yeah, like they really set themselves up for failure, I think.
Yes. Thanks, M. Night. Let's get into our spoiler discussion. So, fair warning, if you haven't seen Glass, we will be discussing some pretty substantial spoilers, as you might expect from an M. Night movie. So, you've been warned.
Check it out.
Where should we start, Tim? You have anywhere you want to start?
So this movie's super grounded, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to talk
Real
about
world,
super
if
grounded.
superheroes were real, this would be like.
That's the whole thing, right?
Except there is a 10,000-year-old secret society that's been working for 10,000 years to suppress superheroes. I'm like, that is outrageous.
Yes.
That is so dumb.
And so let me
So
pitch
dumb.
this, okay? So what's their plan? Their plan is to what? Eliminate the superheroes.
They either convince that superhero. They either convince the superhero that they're not a superhero, or they kill them.
So maybe this is a rhetorical question, because obviously the answer is because they need to make a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But why don't they just kill them?
Yeah.
Why bother trying to convince them they're not?
Maybe they're like the greater good kind of thing, you know. They want to.
In the YouTube video that I watched prior to this movie, they did mention the theory that David Dunn's child is one of these heroes who just hasn't discovered his powers yet.
That makes sense.
And
It would make sense that.
but if you think about it from the perspective of this 10,000-year-old society, if you don't kill these people, they're going to have offspring who are presumably like their parents.
Yeah.
And if you don't like these people, then you should just kill them.
Yeah.
Like if you've already
That
had
makes
this,
they're already a secret society.
yeah.
Unless it's about
Just
preserving
have some
life.
secret
and
society
life.
assassins.
Why do they have to meet in restaurants? Like I know it doesn't really matter, but like
That's
there's
interesting. I
Just-
didn't hate that.
they did it once. I was like, okay, like that's already like when in Sherlock Holmes, when Moriarty says get out and everyone just stands up and leaves. That's like holy shit. But when you do it twice, where like someone leaves and it's just
Everyone just
quiet
shuts
and the camera pans, just slow. I'm like that, you know.
I was thinking more.
It's
Either
of
way.
cool
a-
though, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like
man.
the Dark Knight trilogy, where all the mob bosses just meet in the restaurant, and they all get arrested at once. You know, that's just where they meet. You know,
It's just weird.
That's just where they go.
It's just weird.
I just couldn't understand. Why they wouldn't just kill them outright, like no explanation there, of like some altruistic reason why they don't. They didn't explain that, and also if you're some secret society that is suppressing superheroes, why do you have one nurse on like the night shift that he could easily just
Guarding
kill?
the superheroes.
Right, and they're the way the cells are set up. You walk into the cell and the door closes behind you, and you're with the prisoner. Give me a break. Have you ever seen a prison? It's not like that.
what had they mentioned the secret society in any of the other movies?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't think so. I thought I missed something.
It's brand new.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Dumb.
like to me, it's just a logic break, and yeah, I get it's a movie, whatever, blah, but they need to. There needs to be some tension. The
Yeah.
fact that they're in the room, and then there's just the lights that flash and that kind of thing, right?
To me, like
But it's
just
just
dropping like that much of a bomb, like at the end of a movie, like where it doesn't connect to anything. Like there's no connection to like the first movie, which was again like 19, 20 years ago, and then like having it like just in the last half hour. Like that's just so it's lazy to me.
Okay,
It's
wet
lazy.
noodle.
And like, yes, it was shocking that all three of them were killed,
Yeah, that's
I hated that.
but I hated it because I'm like, these are interesting characters.
This is so unnecessary.
and you're just gonna drown David Dunn in like a puddle in
Yeah,
a parking lot,
especially
One of the worst.
Crumb, right?
One of the worst shots I've seen in a while.
like
To be
the-
honest
from
with
the
you.
underground.
Like
photo.
literally, no, not that. The like him getting drowned and the nurse talking to him,
yeah.
or not the nurse, but the psychiatric talking to him,
Psychiatrist, yeah.
and the camera's like getting dunked itself. And
Hated
that,
that.
like literally aggravating to me. Like I was like, this
Yeah,
is
I
I
thought
can't, I
David
don't even
Dunn's
want to watch this.
Demise was the worst.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
That's it.
Really? That's what you're gonna do with this character?
He
You're
does
gonna just
no
drown
arc,
him?
and then he just gets drowned in like a puddle.
I'm just like, that's so fucked up.
Unless they have plans to somehow use this to like if for God forbid he makes a fourth movie, and they use this to like boost the 3 secondary characters. Like this is now their motivation.
How's it doing at the box office? 'Cause
Pretty good, but there's nothing against it right now.
It's like already doubled its budget.
Yeah.
Oh, disgusting.
But yeah, I hated that.
Yeah,
I hated,
just a waste.
David Dunn.
I don't know, it was just dumb. Like, I thought there was, like, a chance, like, they all survived, because when she's in the comic book store at the end, and then kids are talking about, oh, this superhero, this villain always is one step ahead. I'm like, oh, did Mr. Glass know that she was Secret Society? And he's like,
Yeah, can we talk about his plan?
were, like, the three of them in on, like, this staging this thing or something, and then they just, that wasn't true.
I found his secret
Like,
plan was not.
His
very-
plan is literally stupid.
It's so simple.
but it's stupid.
Yeah, it's
M.
dumb.
Night has way too much, like, I don't know, he's, like, gambling too much that this video would go viral. That's his plan.
Yeah.
It's like, this video's gonna go viral.
But why? What, to say that these super
These somewhat
Human people
stronger people
are-
did some stuff.
are
and it's-
superheroes
yeah, it's
and
like
that they're good?
Yeah.
But you have to kill, and however many number of people in that train derailment to just create them,
Yeah.
just to kill himself, basically, to
Yeah.
commit suicide. I was just like, that's your plan, dude.
It was dumb.
Like that's your master plan. That's a
It
shame.
was pretty bad.
Brutal.
I was offended by all 3 of those twists.
Yeah.
Reveals, I guess.
Yes.
I guess the plan is a reveal, but
Mm.
it's not really a twist. But
I don't mind that, like, James McAvoy's dad was killed on the train. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting, like, tie-in.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind that.
Because it's not like,
It doesn't really.
it doesn't really add
anything.
much. But I'm like,
it ties
okay.
them literally
Yeah.
together, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
besides that, it does nothing. It could be anything that.
It's just weird.
I
At least I
like-
guess they needed a reason for the Beast to turn on Glass. So he's like, yeah, maybe he killed your dad.
And like the way
Oh
that
my
he
God.
reads that, like the way that Glass reads that file, it's like he has some big earth-shattering secret, and it's just like, oh, your dad was on that train that I derailed. Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh, okay. Not like,
Like,
Yeah. There's just so many. I don't know. There's just so many better ways.
so many like
that they
holes
could've
in this
done
story.
it,
Yeah.
You know,
could have
I-
been better.
I just think
Could've
that
much
the,
better.
the
Yeah.
word that keeps coming to mind is just disappointing.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing.
You know, but is there anything you guys specifically want to talk about besides the twist there?
No.
We aired our laundry there.
Yeah.
James McAvoy was still fantastic. Like that's,
He's the best
that's
part
the
of this movie.
craziest part
Yeah.
is that this movie has so many flaws, and it's still like, wow, he was incredible.
He was acting his ass off.
I actually don't even think I liked Sarah Paulson like as an actor in this. Like to me, like I didn't even like her character in this at all.
Pretty unlikable character. I mean, can't really blame you.
Like not even like I didn't like her acting in this. Like just looking at her, like watching
You
her
didn't
on
like
screen.
her?
I don't know. Like I don't know if it was the character she was trying to portray or just what it was, but like I didn't even like her, and she was just a simple character.
Yeah, there wasn't much there.
Mm-mm.
You know. I think that'll do it
Yeah.
for our review of Glass. Check it out or not. Tim, where can people find us?
People can find us on.
Why do you say every time still? It's like
I'm
3
trying
years.
to say if I'm going to say Twitter or not, and then I just you can find us on Twitter at Upper Lake. You can find me personally on Letterboxd at Upper Tim and on Instagram at TheCraftPundit.
You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at Upper Late Podcast. You can also find me on Letterboxd at Upper Tie.
We should split that up.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Wicked
Split?
Swami.
By myself on Letterboxd at Upreal Scott. As well, if you do like this video, leave a like on it. Leave a comment below in the comment section to join our discussion about Glass. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And as always, keep it real.